moly, holy shit. This is Negan's territory now. Negan's going to kill all of them, or most of them, a lot of them. A lot of Rick's group. That's what I got from this episode. What's going on, guys? We're spoiler review of The Walking Dead. And welcome to Dead Walking Sunday, where we're talking not tomorrow yet. And this episode was really good. I really, really liked this episode. I thought it was great. You had a lot of action. You had a lot of things that you had to think about, too, with Rick's way of... The gist of it is to take out Negan's men, to get the armory, and to get the jump on Negan, basically. And maybe kill Negan himself in the process before they can attack them. And, of course, this is the deal that Maggie made with Gregory. Of course, there's one individual who is not agreeing to this at all, and that's Morgan. Now, towards the end, the action sequences were great when they were raiding the compound. The ending was fantastic. I did like how, I was wondering what was going on with Carol and Maggie, and finding out that they get taken at the end hostage is great. I don't know if that's really Negan's people, because we know if you read the comics, it's like, it could be, but I'm not sure. I did like Negan's people and how kind of crazy they are. I did like the battle with Glenn. I'll get to that one particular moment when he was killing these people, the saviors and stuff. And he was like really kind of breaking down. And that leads me to believe that he will probably take Maggie and try to live up onto the hilltop. That will probably be his motivation to do so. Now, this episode, there's a lot to really like about this episode, but the decision that Rick makes, you have to be, and just finding out at the end that they have been watched, and, just because they did a badass raid and they were very tactical, and you could just tell the group has come so far. Yeah, it's just not enough. Like, Negan is smarter than that, I believe. We just saw that at the end. I don't know if that's Negan's woman or not. If, the women are working for Negan, not sure. Just saying, because I think they're all women, right? I think they're all women, but that one woman took Carol and Maggie hostage. I really believe that just a lot of bad things are going to come now. I know that they're setting up a lot of things. If you read the comics, we know this particular person dies, but I think there's going to be a lot of people dying in the upcoming future episodes. Now, I really did like the overall, just the pacing of this episode. I think the pacing was great. I never felt bored. It always felt engaging. It flowed very nicely. The editing was great, especially with the raid of the compound. It kind of reminded me a little bit of a Predator too. And the focus on being on Carol was interesting as well, especially at the very beginning, and then her making cookies for everybody and leaving that cookie for Sam. I really did like that. That was a great little moment. It's great to see Heath. I was like, where's my boy Heath at? And Heath finally makes a little bit of appearance here. He's struggling with a lot of things that Rick wants them to do, which makes me kind of think too, like, Rick is asking a lot out of these people. You question Rick's kind of leadership sometimes, and it's interesting that, of course, Morgan was going to be the one that questions it. And it's always good to see Rick and Morgan talk, and even if they're a lot of differences there, if they don't agree on the same page, I still love Morgan. I kind of love back in the day Morgan. This Morgan that we're getting right now that AMC is giving us is just a huge disappointment. I believe, like, when Morgan stood up and said, "Why are we killing these guys?" This and that, like, Morgan, shut the fuck up and just sit down. And then the whole situation, and it was interesting that they'd still have that linger on a little bit. With Morgan and the wolf, and with Denise and Carol, and it's very interesting with Morgan and Carol at this point as well. And Carol getting some booty. Sorry, Daryl and Carol fans, it's not gonna happen now. But I want to root for Morgan so bad, but I want him to be a little bit different than what they're giving us right now, and I don't think that's going to change. I think he's going to die just like what he's doing right now, thinking that life is all precious and life, a different kind of way. But maybe they'll hit Rick in the head, maybe. Maybe Rick will say, yeah, there has to be a different way. But right now, Rick is definitely the type of he's the gun-ho type, where let's take him out before they take us out, which is really good too, because it brings out an entertaining episode. Abraham. I thought the Abraham and Rosita scene where he kind of pretty much breaks up Rosetta or Rosita. I thought that was great. It was good in the comic because Rosita just like straight out knew that Abraham was cheating on her, and I really liked that aspect, and I would have loved to see that in this episode. But I still liked the way it played out as well. I thought it was very emotional. I kind of felt bad for her, honestly, especially when he gives you that one line like, I found out there's other women out there than just you." I mean, it really stings, and I thought that piece of dialogue and how it was handled by the actors was really great. It was done really, really nicely. Like I said, the action sequences were done so nicely, especially with the editing and the raid of the compound. Maybe there was like 2 scenes that could have been done a little bit better done edited, but overall it was very, very well edited. Michonne, still a badass. Didn't have too much about Michonne. What really got me was Carol and Maggie. Like Carol saying, "Maggie, you should be somebody else." Like it's confusing to me. Like, why would Carol kind of say that to Maggie? Why she has this kind of is upset kind of with Maggie, especially with her coming along and stuff. Like, I kind of was getting the vibe that Carol wants to change, especially in the beginning of the episode where she's really handing cookies out to everybody and stuff. She wants to change, but she knows she can't because she has to stay a killer. Especially when Rick comes up, we gotta eat, we gotta kill, we gotta eat, we gotta do some things that you're not gonna agree with. So, very interesting stuff. I really thought the whole episode was just good. It was very great. It was probably one of the better episodes of this season, probably one of the best episodes of the season in my opinion, because of just the overall flow of this episode and just the overall how everything kind of connected, especially with some of the dialogue with some of the characters. Even Gabriel, I hate Father Gabriel, but he actually did. He's contributing, which is actually pretty nice. And then Jesus, not contributing a lot, but he did contribute as well. Daryl, I like Daryl, but I feel like at this point with The Walking Dead in season 6 that they're not giving. I don't want to say they're not giving too much because they're always giving Daryl and Glenn stuff to do, but I feel like these two are just so much. They need a little bit more energy than what we're getting, honestly. I mean, I remember the Daryl back in the day where he was very energetic, or even Glenn when he was kind of a wisecracking little guy. And I know you mature, and I know you become, it's a different world, especially when they had to do a lot to survive. But I feel like we're missing a little bit of their key characters that we got in the very beginning of those seasons. I feel like I need them back, especially with Glenn. I would still love to see Glenn and Rick talk it out a little bit more because those two are one of the I would think they would consider each other brother, especially how about Daryl and some Glenn conversations as well. I would like to see a little bit more conversations with a lot of other characters, but I thought this episode did its job. It really sets up this Negan and how Negan this could be one of the greatest villains in TV history, but it's going to be very hard to do that on AMC, and they have to tone down a lot of the stuff, but I'm very interested, and Negan's going to be pissed, so we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like the video if you like it, and comment below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on this episode. Till next time, till we talk more The Walking Dead. I'll see you guys later. I'm Dan Son. I'm out here. Bye, guys.